Hello and welcome back to Live from the Catio. This is episode number 5. Have the bees drawn out the new foundation? Did I misplace the cover causing future panic? Is more smoke better? Stick around and find out.
Let's pop into this hive. We have bees up here, that's a good sign. My glove is immediately stuck on a screw, no hole though. Cool, there we go. Hello ladies. They're talking. Telling them, hey, there's a big scary man out here. All right. It has been a while since I've been in here. I think it's been 9 days. Probably the longest time of not being in a hive. The weather just continuously worked against me. Lots of bees, nice. It kept raining. I was like, okay, I need to get in the hive today, and then it would rain. And I'm like, okay, I'm getting in the hive today, and then it would rain. Cool. Lots of bee ladies. I'm actually gonna do one of these. I get some of them off there. That's okay. Not too many of them came, but that's okay.
Yeah, some of my bee buddies told me you either have to be firm and quick or just don't do this at all. So I will be taking that into account in the future.
I'm just gonna set them. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. All right. I'm gonna take a quick glance over the top and see that this outer frame still has nothing drawn on it. So we're gonna kind of see down in there. I see lots of comb. This frame is starting to get drawn out. This frame is not. I'm excited about the medium box below the queen excluder. I'm hoping they put stuff in there. Now the queen excluder is above this medium box. Let me see if I can get you a good shot of it. You see right there, it is right there, it is above that. So that means there could be brood and stuff on this if they did use it. However, that's a good thing. Usually that they draw out the brood chambers. They'll draw that out for space, and then if they can, once they've started drawing it out, they have a lot better time of continuously drawing it out. So that was kind of done on purpose, is to put it in there to give them more space to build in, and then you take that space and you convert it to honey space, you know, for my own uses. This feels like there's something on the other side of it. There's nothing on this side, and there's actually not. Now, I think this is one of the new Hilco frames, but again, they could be mainly working in the medium box because that's the space that they have available. So we will find that out fairly quickly, because now I can kind of see down there. Not too well, actually. That's a lie. They also probably ate some of their honey stores. So some of the honey that we were seeing being built up, they have probably gone in and eaten some of that. Because we had so much rain, they didn't have a lot of chance to forage. They foraged a little bit, and they will forage a small amount during rain, but definitely not as much. And if it's a lot in a hard rain, like some of the rains we had, they just won't forage at all during that time. They will continuously stay in the hive. So
Okay, so talking to some other bee buddies and people in the community, it seems this is not necessarily directly related to the rain. While the rain did help further this issue, this seems like a bunch of other environmental factors coming together in a perfect storm that led to a lot of people's bees eating some of their honey stores. So not just the rain, but the rain probably played a significant role in it.
yeah, if you look at this frame, there's like honey here and honey up here, but see how some of those cells like are not capped and there's some empty cells? Those are probably cells they uncapped because it would be odd of them not to fill very specific cells and then not cap those cells. So we'll see what the other side looks like. This is full of honey. So it's not capped honey, but there is a lot of honey here. Nectar, I guess. Nothing else crazy. There is a queen cup. Let me try to maneuver and look at said queen cup. And if I'm going too fast or you see anything, you're like, what's that? And you want to take a closer look, let me know. That's that queen cup I'm talking about. They don't have eggs up here because I have that queen excluder on, so they can't lay eggs. They could theoretically take an egg from the bottom and move it up top into a queen cup. And I think that's actually what happened not too long ago when we had the one queen cell that we've had. I think that's what happened there. I'm not totally sure, but I'm kind of thinking that's what happened there. And That technically could happen here, but I feel like that's pretty unlikely. Okay, so I'm going to try to show you. If I tilt the camera, you can see this stuff here. They're connecting the frames together, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go in very carefully and try to like bust those connections, because if you can tell from here, at least I can tell, there's a lot. See this? See where I'm pointing at with my hive tool there? That's all capped honey, and I don't really want to rip it apart. I don't really want to destroy all that like I did the time before. So I'm trying to just break apart, where possible, those little connections, because the more I can break apart now, the less likely we have issues where the capped honey gets stuck and rips off, and then not only do we have a mess in the hive, but then I wasted a lot of product potentially. So it's just something I'm trying to avoid altogether. We are going to pry a little bit apart. It felt very hard to pry. There could be a lot of propolis, but it could be that there's more connections that I cannot see. I mean, we'll find out in a moment. Try not to squish any bees over here while I'm prying. There we go. I'm just going to try to not have to pry this one up and just pull it away and then use my fingers. Yeah, there's definitely a lot of honey here because this is a heavy frame. I'm going to set it here and you can kind of see there's definitely a lot of honey here. It's kind of an irregular pattern, partially to my fault. Like I mentioned, I ripped the they had drawn this frame out very, very thick, and when I pulled it out one time, they had connected it to the wall and it ripped a bunch. This is kind of the result of that, where there's all this kind of oddly shaped combs.
It's hard to tell from this angle, but there's a lot of pitting and deformation in the like topology of this frame, and that's what I'm referring to when I'm talking about how I damaged it in the past. It's like there are very high points and low points across the same frame, when typically you see either like kind of a mounded where it's shallow towards the edges and gets thicker towards the middle, or a pretty uniform frame. So I'm just getting at the fact that it's hilly, I guess you could say.
So we're gonna look at the other side. This is very heavy, so I'm trying to do this without squishing bees. Oh yeah, look at that. This side is fully capped, not fully capped. It's probably 75% capped, a little more capped honey here, and this frame could be harvested. There's a couple spots over here, maybe 70%. There's some spots over here and some spots up there, but the majority of it is capped. So in theory, if we got a harvest, this would be a frame to harvest. So we'll see about the other side. I'm hopeful that they actually do something with the other side, because there is lots of space available for them, and they have been gathering. Oh, this is the wrong direction. I actually, because of the shape of this, the cone that they've drawn out, I have to kind of put it in a specific direction. Doing that means I can slide the frames close together, which is kind of what you need. So my smoke went out again because I wasn't paying attention to it. I really need to get this, because I don't want to be in a position like last time where I had bee problems, where I had bees attacking the GoPro. So I've been trying to get better about using the smoker. I just didn't need it in the spring because it was so nice and cool that the bees weren't really mad at me or for anything. It's like I could do whatever I wanted and they'd just be really chill. And for the most part, bees just are chill.
Well, I do stand by the fact that bees are generally pretty chill. I think some of this had to do with the size of my hive as well, because my hive has grown so much over the past, couple months here. My spring hive was very small, and because it's grown so much, there's a lot more bees in the hive, a lot more chances for them to get mad because of something that I do. So I think it's a combination of both the cooler weather and the size of the hive, causing the more aggravated bees typically.
This is one of the new John Hillco foundations, and they are starting to draw it and doing a little better here. Still nothing crazy on this frame. We still only have really the main one that's doing really well. Oh, there's a lot of honey on this one. It is drawn a little far out, unfortunately. It's a little thicker than I really want it to be, because they're not drawing out the other side. They have the available space to put it in here. And I'll show you what I'm saying, and I bet both sides of this are going to be this way, but we're going to look either way. Oh, it's heavy, so I bet there's a bunch of stuff on here. Yeah. If you see, if I turn this frame kind of sideways, see how thick that frame is? That's really because see how this frame's not really drawn out? It's starting to get drawn out, and they've laid some comb down. That's a good sign that they're starting, but it doesn't mean it doesn't prevent them from drawing the comb out as far as they want, and they're drawing the comb out pretty far. Now there is a lot of honey in here, and this feels very nice, very weighty. There's a lot of stuff going on in here, so I like that. It's just I wish there was I wish they were drawing it out a little less, and I wish I had a little more comb on the other side. Had I had more comb on this side already, they wouldn't be able to draw out that far, which means this stuff isn't going to be drawn out as far, which is potentially a problem if I go to harvest and it's not drawn out far enough. I can't cut it easily to uncap it, so you kind of got to get creative with your knife work. Not really a big deal, but it can make the process take longer. I've watched plenty of videos on that. This looks like one of the old foundations. I must have... Oh, no, this is a new foundation. No, it doesn't have the weird Ripley thing. Okay. Yeah, with the old foundation, the old, the plastic part, you could see a, like a Ripley wave effect. And this might be one, because see how it's got this weird pattern on it? Of where they started to draw it out. It had kind of a weird pattern, a Ripley pattern of what looked like their wax dip before the bees had drawn anything out. So let me pull this out. If the other side of this looks good, I probably left it in if they started to draw it out.
All right, so my theory here with this whole wavy pattern thing was the online seller of this foundation must have like mechanically dipped these and then used something to spin the excess wax off, because it always started from like the top middle and then like ballooned out towards the edges. So I'm just wondering if maybe they had some mechanical process that spun this off, or it was scraped off in an interesting pattern, and that's what caused that. Really not sure. Just a guess here, though.
Ow. Hold on. I don't know what that was.
All right, you will see me complain about this several times. I apologize. I got bit by a pretty gnarly spider that left a welt on me for a couple of days. I think it got trapped inside the suit when it was sitting inside, and when I put it on, it finally found its way to somewhere it could bite me.
Okay. Oh, there's some drone brood up here. That could have been from... Yeah, I don't know why that's up here, actually. Okay, I'm gonna look at the next frame and be careful. I'm gonna look for, Sorry, my suit is pinching me. Hold on. Thought I got stung. Actually, that was pretty painful. But I think my suit is just pinching down on me. Oh, there's a little wood chip poking out. Okay. There shouldn't really be brood up here because I have the queen excluder on. So I'm gonna check this next frame. Man, this is hurting. I don't know what... Unless a bee got in my sleeve and stung me, which I guess is technically possible, but I really, really doubt it. Yeah, that hurts. I don't know what happened there. So let me pull this frame out, and I'm going to inspect this for eggs. I really don't think there's eggs up here, but because these frames are up here, maybe they started to draw those out, and bees were just moving eggs. They said, hey, we have space up here, so let's put some eggs up here. I guess that's possible, but I really don't feel like that's the case. I'm not super sure why I have those. Oh, you know what? I could have put a frame that was getting drawn out from the top and the bottom last time. I don't remember doing that, but that is definitely something that sounds like I could have done. Because there being eggs there doesn't really make sense. And I'm not seeing any eggs here, so... It could just be unhatched drone brood still. I could scrape it off and look for mites. Maybe that's a good use of that, actually. Yeah, I like that idea. There's a bunch of honey on this frame, by the way. So once this gets capped, that is a huge harvest frame. That's definitely a good frame to harvest. I'm actually going to take this frame back out, and I'm just gonna scrape away the top layer of this and kind of look and see what's going on and see if I can't see any mite. Oh, it's like dead brood? That's really odd. Yeah, that's really odd. I wonder if this is just old. This definitely was old brood. I'm just gonna pick it out of there because it looks like it never hatched, which is kind of an oddity to me at the very least. So take a closer look and see if I see anything goofy. Oh, this was an old frame that was in the, yeah, because I remember these weird little, these cells that are drawn out really odd towards the bottom of the frame or the top of your screen, I guess. Definitely was odd shapen, and that was one that I took from the bottom and put up top. So I guess it's just drone brood that maybe never hatched. Still odd nonetheless, but less odd now that I think about it. All right. Oh, uh-oh. Don't want to singe that. Yeah, man, my arm is really hurting me. I don't think a lady could have gotten in there and stung me. So something's probably pinching me, but it does hurt. I haven't felt any air around my... It's not like I have a hole in my suit, do I? I don't think so. That would be a really hard place for a lady to get to sting me. And even then, it would have been through my shirt. So, I think something's just pinching me. I wonder if one of my hairs is caught in there and it's just really painful. You don't know.
Yeah, you can see this. It really caused me a lot of discomfort. It was painful. It was not fun, and definitely caused me to make some mistakes and kind of get a little aggravated or agitated, I guess, while working here.
Definitely isn't fun though. Whatever it is. Yeah, because I don't see, there'd be like a stinger stuck in there, and I really wouldn't feel it through the suit arms, because I'd have to pass through my suit arms and a long sleeve shirt. Yeah, I definitely don't know. It definitely, something pinched me or something, so. Oh well. I don't think I have a bee in my suit. I think I would feel it if I had a bee in my suit. And I don't know where it would have gotten in, if I'm being honest, because like my suit doesn't really have holes in it. I mean, it has a billion holes in it to breathe and stuff, but not like, not bee-sized holes, you know? So I don't know. My, I think something's just pulling on the hair on my arm. I think that's what's going on. Okay, so I need to look. I might have to go call Maddie and get them to bring me out a medium box. Well, actually, I might be able to take this whole medium box off, because I am not so far, thus far at the very least, seeing any action up here, which is not a great sign. I really needed them, or I didn't need them. I really wanted them to be drawing this out so I could move it today. But like I said, we've had all these rain days, so they might have been pretty slow at doing stuff this past week. Okay, I'm gonna try to slowly put you on. Yeah, I don't know what that was, but my arm feels better now, so. I'm just gonna set that gently down there. I'm gonna grab this. Yeah, I'm not really seeing comb drawn out, just kind of glancing in there. I am gonna take a few frames out because there might be a little bit. This hot. There could be a little bit, but I'm really not seeing much. I'm gonna give this a couple stokes. The fire smoky a little bit again. Yeah, nice good temperature. Not a whole lot of smoke. Not really smoldering as it normally does, but that's okay. Just a little light smoking. Kind of, like I said, I'm kind of just smoking it in the area at the moment, trying to get the fire, not necessarily fire, just the smoke to come back a little bit, to get the stuff that was burning to burn a little more. Yeah. I don't know, the bees aren't really spicy at the moment, which is nice. So I'm gonna set this down and we're gonna go back to looking at this stuff. I'm gonna pull a couple of these frames out, but I'm likely gonna take this whole box off. My only holdup is that the queen could potentially be up here. Man, I did not do a good job of putting these frames back in here. I wonder if I jostled it or something, because these are set in here real odd like. Yeah, because there's like nothing on this stuff, which is okay. I mean, they're starting to draw it out a little bit. You can see they've laid a little layer of wax down, which is nice, which is good. And this is of the new, I think this is of, yeah, this is of the new stuff, because all the new stuff is black. The old stuff was yellow. I'm gonna set it down here temporarily. I guess I should look for the queen just in case. I don't really want to have a mishap. I really want to get down to the meat and potatoes of the brood box and see how the honeybound issue is going currently. I should probably clean these frames off too. I might leave it this time around because it might encourage them to at least get wax up here. Which at this rate, I am kind of happy if that happens. There's a big old drone there. Let me see if I can't, let me put this frame down and I'll see if I can't show you a big boy. It's a big drone. See if you can spot him first of all. Let me put the preview so I can see if you can actually see him. Oh, now I lost him. Oh, there he is. You see him? This big guy right here. He's kind of crawling under the bees. This big old dude right here. It's a drone boy. Eating food, taking up space. Yeah, I might leave the, as much as I don't really want to leave the excess stuff on there, I might just leave the excess stuff on there. Because maybe it'll encourage them to get up there and start doing stuff. If there's an easy path up there, they can climb up it. Maybe they'll actually do some stuff. And again, there's a light layer of wax on here, which is good to see. I'm going to do a quick check for the queen and just put the frame back. I'm kind of just sliding everything to one side. I don't really want to take all this stuff out because I want to take the whole box off, excuse me. Because I really want to see the bottom part, and the bottom ones are all deep boxes, so I need a deep box to put the stuff into without having another medium out here. I need to go buy some more equipment. I'm kind of working on dregs of equipment here. Yeah, I'm not really seeing nothing here. Again, they've laid a little layer of wax down, which is good to see. I would like to see more comb actually drawn out. I've heard people talk about their bees drawing the stuff out within a week's time, and it's been more than a week since this new foundation's been in here, and it definitely doesn't look like that. But my bees also have been kind of on the slower side of doing stuff ever since I got them, so it might not be the foundation. It could partially be just the bees. Maybe they're just kind of slow. I mean, I did move them from a totally different town to a totally different area where the flora and fauna is a little different, not too much. But residential is going to be different than countryside, right? So I moved them a little bit, and they have to build out a whole new home. Look at how chill these bees are. They're just sitting there. They're just chilling, just straight stone cold chilling. Again, no queen on here, and I'm hoping she isn't up here. It would not make a whole lot of sense if she was, because what would she be doing? Hi, Maddie.
Hi.
Again, these bees are just sitting there, just chilling, doing not a thing. That probably means there's a billion bees down there.
Yeah, unfortunately, it really seems like they're just not in the mood to draw things out. It's kind of a theme throughout the entire hive. So I need to try this whole sugar water thing. I forgot to this time, and I forgot the episode after this, episode 6. So I should hopefully in episode 7 have remembered by now to get a bottle of sugar water so we can do some spraying and see what happens.
Okay, I didn't see a queen. It's good. I don't really want the queen to be up there at the moment. Unless I guess if she's cooling off or she needs something, but I don't really know. So I'm gonna move this box, and I'm gonna move this box too. Ooh, I need to kind of do this in an order. Okay, so first of all, we need to pry this box up, get a couple nice cracking noises, and then we can just, oh, if the bee wants to get out from under my fingers, there we go, pick it up. I don't really want to set it on top of that one, but I might have to. I think I'm going to. Alright, ladies. I'm coming down. Make sure you're not under it. There you go. Alright, hold your nose for a minute, Manny. I'll blow it away from you. I'm going to put a little bit of smoke in these bees. I don't want them to be spicy today. It is nice and cool out, so I'm not expecting too much. But I'd, again, rather be safe than sorry today. Or any day, for that matter, after the last time. Yeah, I'm still seeing a lot of honey. Just taking a quick glance here, which I'm not thrilled about. Which I know seems a little counterintuitive, because why would you not be thrilled about honey in your hive? But it's because it's in the brood chamber. I don't really want the honey in the brood chamber. I want the honey in the honey supers. Not that there can't be honey in the brood chamber. It can just be indicative of other problems, right? It itself can be a problem if there's honey in the brood stores. Not necessarily. It doesn't mean there's a problem automatically. It really depends on the amount of honey. I'm gonna try to carefully get this in here, kind of tap them away. I really want, like, over here. Maybe I can hit it from this side. Yeah. I'm just trying to kind of break up the frames from each other, because they did connect them a little bit, and then I'm going to try to get up on one side and then up on the other. I'm going on this far frame because all of the other, if you remember from last time, all of the other frames, they're filled out really far with honey because they had all this extra space, and kind of just as this one too. This filled out a little big, but really not too bad. This is a nice frame right here, except I don't see eggs. I see brood. Maybe they're saving this one. I don't know. I'm gonna look for the queen. Maybe the queen's on here doing work. But I'm really not seeing eggs. And there's a lot of places for eggs to be, and this is all honey. I'm gently blowing on this corner to kind of get the bees to disperse, because I want to make sure that the queen's not under there if they're all piling on her for some reason. I didn't see her, so I'm going to take another look here. If you hold the frame, I don't know if you can see that, it kind of is like a wave of the bees kind of melting down the frame. It's kind of fun to watch. So they're all just doing their bee thing, doing their bee jobs. I am not seeing a queen here, which is a-okay. There's plenty of places for the queen to be. I'm just kind of surprised I don't see eggs here. Indicative of something bad? Probably not. Probably just hasn't got there yet. But I do want to be cognizant that I saw a frame that was a good candidate for lots and lots of eggs, and there were no eggs. No eggs were had. Okay, gonna move these frames gently, or attempt to move them gently. Whoop. And we are going to get into this frame. What do we see today? Lots of honey towards the top, but the other one looked like it had honey too, but it was just a nice frame that had, I mean, the one side was pretty full of honey, but the other side just had that top ridge of honey. And if you remember me talking about last time, that's kind of what you want to see. This frame isn't too heavy, which is a good sign. Oh yeah, lots of brood here. It's a good sign. Some honey, some larvae. That's a good sign. I've seen larvae now. Haven't seen eggs yet. I'm always looking to see if, like, you want to see brood, larvae, and eggs. It's kind of, you want to see all those things. I'm kind of looking. I don't see a queen. I'm gonna flip her over. Got some queen cups. No queen cells, but a queen cup. 2 queen cup, 3, 4 queen cups. Lots of queen cups. None of them look like cells, but we are going to peek inside them, make sure there's no jelly in there or anything. I do not see, and let me know if you see, I don't see any eggs in there, but those are very, very, very dark. So it's possible that there is, and I just cannot see them. They have a nice honey, a ridge of honey along the outside, which is kind of what you want to see. So that's a good sign. I'm gonna try to flip this frame over a long way, so we can see inside those queen cups. I'm not seeing anything in there, or there, or there, or there. So I'm just gonna let those ones be. Admire that this is a great frame. Acknowledge that I do not see any queen here, but I'm going to look again. As a novice beekeeper, I am so sure that I overlook things, so I'm trying to put eyes on everything a couple times. I watched a video of a baby queen. It was a spot the queen challenge, essentially, of a baby queen that was unmarked. Now, I have two things working in my favor. Number one, my queen is marked. She's marked with a big red dot on her forehead. Absolutely love that feature. That is all queens that are marked are a lot easier to spot, in my opinion. Baby queens, and she's also not a baby, so she's bigger and longer and fatter than other bees, which is great. I love that. Because you see a bigger, longer, fatter bee with a nice gold abdomen, it's really easy to tell that, oh, hey, that's the queen. Now, I don't want to say easy. It is easier to tell that that's the queen. Baby queens are probably almost definitely not marked yet. And they're smaller, so the size looks about like a regular bee, and it's pretty hard to tell. I definitely did not spot the queen on that without the red circle that came at the end. It was tough. And I paused it and started it a couple times, and boy howdy, was that so I'm really hoping my queen doesn't just die and I have a new queen running around here. I know it takes 14 days for a new queen to hatch, not 10 days, but I just don't want to be in that situation, because ooh boy, that was a tough one. Let's feel how hot this is. It's a little warmer now, but it's a lot smokier now, which I like. I'm gonna give them a little bit of smoke. There we go. Put the smoke down. Go back, and we're gonna take a frame out. And again, they connected the honey frame to the empty part of the other frame, which sucks, but isn't too bad. Okay. Lots of brood, which is good to see. There wasn't a lot of brood last time, and I was kind of worried about that. But I do see lots of brood this time, which I am a lot happier about. I still don't... Eggs! I see eggs. Eggs and larvae. Okay. We see fresh eggs. We see larvae. That's all the things we need to be seeing. So I am happy. Now we're back on the primary objective of finding the queen and making sure she's alive. However, because you have fresh eggs, larvae, and brood, she's probably in here. Unless something happened to her in the last couple of days when I wasn't in here. She is almost definitely in here because I have all of those things. And this frame looks really good. There's lots of space for bees to new bees to form. And there's stuff already coming off on the other side, right? It's not honey bound, it's not full of honey. So this is a great frame. I really like this frame. This has given me more confidence about this, because the last time I was in here I was really worried with just the sheer amount of honey that was in there. So again, I am not seeing the... Oh, no. Thought I saw the queen. I am looking a little harder than before, because it's always possible that the worker bees can scrape the paint marker off of the queen's head, and they kind of naturally want to do that. They're trying to clean the queen off. That's something that we put on there, and it's a foreign substance, so they don't really want that on there, so they're going to naturally try to clean it off, and it's pretty frequent. It happened to my buddy. They just scraped all of the paint off, and they had to remark them, and like within the next day, like 80% of the paint was gone. Right? So there's theories about, like, you know, when you mark a queen, you should leave it in the cage for X amount of time to try to get it to so it sets better, or you should use this paint, or you should use that paint. But all in all, the bees are going to try to get the paint off the queen. They don't want that paint there. So, all right. So again, that was a really good frame. I got bees all over my hands. When you pick up the frames and you put the frames down, lots of bees tend to get on your hands because they're like, oh, this is a new place that I can go. If you put your, I'm trying to show you, if you put your hand usually by the hive, a lot of times you will either pick up new bees or the bees will leave. These bees don't really want to leave, so I'm just going to let them go. My glove is all the way around, so we shouldn't have any problems of them leaving. I'm just going to be cognizant that I have them in my hand because I don't want to crush them. When you crush bees, that's when they sting you. Most of the time, the bees aren't going to mess with you. Most of the time. Now, if it's a really hot day, the bees aren't going to be happy to begin with. They're going to be spicy bees. And they might sting you anyway. Which is, I think, well, no, the one time I got stung because I was just being stupid. I was showing people that my gloves were sticky. And I smushed a bee in my hand and she said, no. Okay, this frame's heavy, which isn't a good sign because that means there's a lot of honey on here. And there is a lot of honey on here. I'm going to look at both sides. Both sides look good. This side has brood and honey, kind of intermixed, which is kind of not what I want to see. I'd rather see nice big swashes of brood and the honey on the edges. And the band of honey around the edge, I don't know if you can see, that's real thick, which is good because we're going to be going into a less, well, we're not really going to go through a dearth, I don't think, this year. But in the fall, I'm probably going to attempt to harvest, which means they're going to need more food stores. Especially for the winter. So, sorry, I'm just looking for the queen here. So it maybe is okay that they have a little more honey around the brood. I just really would prefer to see it elsewhere in the hive, not here. I don't see fresh eggs, though. This frame, this material, this foundation is really. Oh, there's a fresh egg.
Yeah, so I think the queen was actually on this frame and I happened to miss her. I did not find her the rest of the video. I'm pretty sure that she was hanging on this frame, laying more eggs and doing stuff. And I just didn't see her when I was going through.
Yep, there's fresh eggs in there. It's just really hard to see. What I was about to say is the material, the foundation that I use or got from Hoover originally is just, it's really hard to see the bottom of. I don't know what it is, but the black foundation, you would think a nice white egg would be really nice and bright on it, but it is not. It really isn't. I'm gonna try not to squish any bees, but I'm gonna slowly push that. We're gonna go in with a little more smoke, and I'm actually gonna go whoop and flick the bees off my hands because I need to do that squishing action again so I can put a little more smoke on these bees. And I don't want to squish a bee in between my hand because that's how you get stung in the hand. And really anywhere else when you're wearing a bee suit to get stung is better than your hand, because most of the time everything else is going to be through a bee suit, and then they're not really going to hurt you. Not that they can't hurt you, but they're likely not going to. Not going to be able to, I guess. That's a better way to put that. So let's get back in here. Doot doot doot. Can't tell. It feels like my back is itchy. It almost feels like there's a bee crawling down my back, but I'm 90% sure that's not the case. We'll find out if I scream. I won't scream, but I will be angry and upset and mad and in pain. Those are all options and valid emotions. So I'm hoping that's not the case. I think it's just either sweat or my emotion or my body playing tricks on me. It is concerned me twice now, though, because it sure does feel like a bee's crawling down my back. I don't think it is. I genuinely don't think a bee's crawling down my back. And I think the bee would have probably already stung me if there was a bee crawling down. Hey, Maddie. Okay, it feels like there's a bee crawling down my back. Can you look? Hold on, guys. Small detour. No, inside my suit. Just like, look down my neck. I'm gonna come up to the Catio. You can stay behind the thing. I don't want any bees. Just look like down my neck.
Because I can do that.
Okay. I think all the bees are gone. There might be a.
Come out of jail. There's a bee on you.
Yeah, not her, but like down here. Okay. I think it's just my shirt and stuff playing weird, playing tricks on my brain. The sensation happened like 3 times around. It felt like a bee was walking down my back.
I would be amazed that everybody did it.
That's what I was telling the stream. I was like, I really don't think that's the case. But it freaked me out enough where I might as well have you sanity check for me.
The boys got to try to escape from me.
What's that?
The boys got to try to escape from me.
Ah. More brood. More bees. Look at that. Look at all those wonderful bees. Now this one, again, I wish they would continue to draw the frame out. It's like they don't care to. It's like they're like, oh, we got enough space. Which, I mean, you know, fair enough. Bees do bee things, but as a beekeeper, I would like them to draw it out more. And again, they could put eggs here. And I'm surprised they have not. Though there is a lot of honey there, so maybe they're kind of mentally like, nah, not feeling it. I am not seeing the lady, but I am gonna give it a nice old look. Yeah, there's larvae here, and like new larvae, like just hatched larvae. Oh, and an egg. So there is an egg on this side, or two, or three. There's a couple eggs on this side, just not on the other side. But like I said, maybe they decided, hey, we really want to use the other side for honey, so they're not messing with it. Plausible, possible.
Yeah, also the goofy weather we're having definitely also contributed to that. I think there's a lot of that here where there's been blooming flowers and no real big dearth this whole time. So I think part of the overage in honey and the dedication of parts of the hive to honey is because of that.
Okay. We're making really good progress and really good time. Been stringing for 50 minutes and I'm, you know, close to the last, I'm almost to the last box, which is really good.
Preface that with, it is really good for me. I have other beekeeping friends who do this at twice, if not three times the speed at which I go through here. So it's something of a skill, and it's just not something that I've become extraordinarily proficient at yet. I am getting better.
Maybe another hour and 20 minutes stream, like that's the total time. Okay. Bees just launched themselves at my hands. They were like, yo, what's going on here? So I'm gonna grab this guy. Okay, there we go. Okay, and again, I'm gonna go in here, pull that away. Oh, I can already see they connected the two honey frame pieces together, so we are gonna drip some here. I'm gonna hope it's not a lot. I'm trying to minimize it. Just be nice and slow. This is a heavy frame. Oh yeah, there's lots of honey on here. Oh, there's also lots of brood on here though. I see larvae. I see, well, that freaked me out. See how deep that is? I was like, uh-oh, we have a queen cell. We don't have a queen cell. We have a queen cup, but no cell. Nothing in it. Look how far they've drawn that honey out. They drew that honey out really far. Which is, again, the kind of the problem when it comes to, I'm gonna try to smash this with my suit a little bit, actually. There we go. When they're not restricted on space, they kind of just continuously draw this stuff out and draw it out real long. Look at all those bees. Oh, there's another queen cup. I'm not seeing anything in there though. Oh, there's another queen cup. I cannot tell on that one. It's not capped. Okay, now they're moving, so I can kind of look. Okay. I'm not seeing a queen on here. Let me look on the other side again. Oh, sorry, lady. I definitely squished her.
Looking over this footage, I also realized that I think one of the reasons my bees have not been super friendly with me the last couple times is I'm more confident in handling frames, but I'm doing so too quickly. If you see how fast I'm flipping these frames over and moving them around, I think that's agitating them and startling them. I need to be better about, doing things slowly and methodically, but still quickly without, crushing bees or jostling around too much. I think that's part of why I've had some bee incidents the last couple times.
Yeah, I'm not really seeing the queen here. There's a drone. There's a lot of bees here though, so I'm gonna give it a nice good look. A lot of them are on the honey bits though. They're all over my hand. I need my hand to flip this frame around, girls. So if you could let me have my hand back. I'm gonna say they're gonna say no, so I'm gonna just put this frame down. Which I kind of also need my hand for. Come on. Thank you. And again, I'm gonna give it one more look before I put this away. No. Saw something that maybe could have been the queen, but it wasn't. Just a nice little frame of bees. And a lot of, this frame is really heavy, which is interesting. And maybe because a lot of my other frames are not completely drawn out, but this one is for the most part all the way drawn out. And they have those honey stores and such around the edges. So I'm thinking maybe that's part of it. Give them a little smoke. Oh, this frame is empty. Huh. Not a great sign, but that's really okay. I'm gonna let them work at their pace. I would like them to have more space, but if they're not really caring to have more space, hi Arthur. If they don't really care to build out the space for stuff, and they're not trying to leave, I'm not seeing queen cells, then, maybe they're just chilling, which is fine. It's a-okay with me. How much record time do I have left on this guy? Oh, I got 2 hours of record time left. Cool. Yeah, I emptied the footage out on my computer. I have not edited down, or I guess I don't really edit them down, but I have not, oh, what do you call it? I have not edited together that yet. Okay, there's a lot of nothing here. A lot of bees, a little bit of honey, and then there's like nothing on this side. There's a little bit of comb. They filled that with propolis so much it cracked. That's funny. I'm not seeing the queen, nor eggs, nor nothing, so no reason for the queen to really be here. Not that she can't be. Do what she wants, but typically you find her where she's doing stuff. I'm gonna call that the no queen frame. I'm gonna drop you back in here. Okay, and that's not enough space to put another frame, so we gotta slide all this over. Actually, I'm gonna use my tool to do that because it's really heavy with all the stuff that's on it. So all I'm gonna do is come in here. Let me make sure you can see what I'm doing. There we go. And I'm gonna take this. Actually, I'm gonna start maybe here and just pull the frames to one side. And pull the frames to one side. And then I can go here, click, and click. Now we got plenty of space to put another frame in there, and we won't crush any bees while doing it. Hopefully I didn't crush any bees doing that. One of the times it kind of went a little faster than I was hoping or expecting, which is not good. But crud happens. Okay. All right, what do we got here? No eggs, but brood. I don't see any larvae either. Lots of honey. Brood. Also no eggs. What is the queen doing? She just lollygagging? So many eggs could have been planted here. Oh, sorry, lady. Could have been planted or laid. You don't plant eggs. I mean, you could. I don't know if planting an egg would do anything. Give the soil some calcium, I guess. Don't crush the eggshells and throw them in your garden. Just plant the whole egg in the ground. You know? You might attract wildlife. But that's half the fun, right? Okay. So, we got that. Now, we're gonna take you. Click, 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 click. Take this whole box off. And this box, we're gonna set even closer to us and set right there. And I'm actually gonna look on the side, see how many bees are on the side. I just wanna make sure the queen is not on there. If she is, acknowledge her. Tell her to move. Say, get off there, queen. Not that I care, I just rather it be in a box. Oh, of course, when I go into my last box, I have no smoke. Into the box, likely where the queen is at, right? So, I'm actually going to take a couple seconds and try to rekindle my fire. I'll walk a little bit away real quick because there's lots of bees on me just checking me out right now. If I kind of tilt it to the side, usually I can get better because the smoke won't put the fire out immediately. Yeah. An easy way to tell if bees are mad at you or not is if you walk away and they're still there. They're probably mad at you. But if you walk away and they don't follow you, you're probably fine. Because usually the ones that sting you will kind of continuously fly around you, and they don't have. They're trying to signal all the people, hey, this is the dingus. I think that's why it is, at least. But because they're gonna die and they don't really serve any other purpose, I think they've kind of naturally learned that, hey, we can signal and we can leave pheromones and stuff. And I can bother this thing if I continually, if I just continually fly around them after I've stung them. I think that's just kind of a theory, though. Let's see, is this hot? Not really. Cover your nose, Maddie.
Yeah, see how there's like no smoke coming out of this because I lit a fire and then it died and it didn't really, smolder and produce a lot of smoke. And when it did, it kind of died out and then I tried to get it started back again. This is not effective smoking. I am trying to get better at smoking. I've gotten a little bit better as I'm being more conscious about it, but this definitely isn't effectively smoking. If anything, I'm aggravating them with the excess heat and not doing anything to really do the whole confusion smoking bit.
Come on. Okay. Alright. Let's crack into this last box. Let's hope we can find the queen. Again, I'm not too worried. I've seen fresh eggs, I've seen larvae, I've seen brood, but I do like to see the queen. It's just part of the journey, part of the fun. You know? Okay. Oh, not on the edge. There we go. I'm gonna try to slowly. No. Okay. I uncapped a little bit of honey on accident. That's just a tiny bit. That's okay. Let's see what we can see. A nice and dry, no egg queen cup, which is fine to see. I don't see a queen. I see some larvae. Do I see eggs? I cannot tell. Oh, why are you buzzing me? Why are you being that loud? Oh, that's a bit. Oh, you're a drone. That's why. You're a really loud drone at that. I feel like the queen could be on this one because I am being pelted by bees right now. Though, I am not so much seeing them. Seeing her. I see bees. That's not the issue. I just don't see the queen. Let me know. Do you see the queen? Am I blind? Is that a nice orange cat? The world may never know. Nothing in that queen cup. Good sign. I am not seeing her. Let me give another look-sees here. Again, I'm not too worried if I don't see her. I do like to see her. This is a really, really, really nice frame, though. Man, these bees. I opened this bottom hive up, which makes me think the queen's there because I got pelted with bees temporarily. Oh, they did sting the GoPro. That usually means they're kind of having enough of me. That's usually how I tell. I'm gonna angle this down so I can get these stingers out, because if I can get the stingers out, maybe it won't leave as much scent. And if I kind of smoke the camera right into your lens face there, uh-oh, get off my hand. I don't want the stinger on my hand. Not that I'm afraid of it to sting me, I just don't want them to try to sting my hand. If I get the stingers off the GoPro, I'm hoping it kind of masks the scent so they don't really know that it's been stung, because I don't really want them stinging me anymore than they already have. Do I see anything on the front? Nope. Okay. So we're clear. That means there's going to be a couple around me. So I'm going to kind of... That's probably why that drone was buzzing me so hard. Is this hot? Not really. You might go in, Matt. It's going to get smoky because the bees are getting kind of meh. Yep.
Goodbye, people on the GoPro.
Maddie says goodbye.
Bye.
Good bee.
Bye, Jake and Chantel specifically. I know you look for me.
Okay. Bees are chilling. I'm chilling. I got all the stingers out. Lots of smoke around. Hopefully masking all the scents. Makes it so they can't transmit their pheromones. Make it nice and smoky out here. Let's get into this next box, this next frame. I hate saying I want to go quick, but I kind of want to go quick here. When they start getting upset with you is kind of when you want to leave. I don't see any other stingers or stuff in me, but they are they're just acting a little spicy. And because they're acting spicy, I usually like to
Yeah, this nice white billowy smoke, that was probably a little more effective. However, I do know that smoke was a little too hot as well. The fire had kind of started to rekindle a little bit, um, and it reheated that up, and then it went out and it produced this excess smoke here. So while it was definitely more effective at masking all the pheromones and their communication signals and stuff, it might have also aggravated the bees. So I think I just delayed the inevitable here instead of preventing it.
Yeah, if I can really just mask all the smells and all the pheromones and everything, they can not be around me. And again, this is why you wear a hat backwards, because a backwards hat keeps the veil off the back of your neck, so they cannot sting you in the back of the neck, because that would be not fun at all. Being stung, not fun. Being stung in the back of the neck, I can only imagine it's way not fun. Yeah, these bees are getting a little spicy. I might call it wraps here. I've seen a lot. I haven't seen everything. I've seen a lot of the hive. I've not seen eggs and stuff down here. I haven't seen the queen either. But these bees are getting spicy. They're buzzing my ear real nice like. Take a small walk. Okay. Again, kind of mask the scent. And throw some smoke in the air. We're gonna go on. We're gonna trot along. Come on. Yep. I know you guys don't want me in here, and I am trying. I just want to make sure everything's good. I'm not seeing anything I don't like yet. I haven't seen any queen cells. Though I am just noticing a large lack of... I've seen eggs, but I'm noticing just a lack of eggs. I feel like there should be more eggs. You know? Like, I've not seen any eggs down here. I don't think. Maybe on one frame I've seen eggs. I don't see the queen. On a quick way. This is a good frame if I saw eggs. I mean, even without eggs, it's a good frame. I can't deny that it's a nice frame.
With experience from the next episode, I'm almost positive there were actually eggs on this frame. I just couldn't see them. I find it's a lot harder to see eggs than I initially thought. Once this wax that's been used for raising brood has kind of gone through a cycle or two, it gets a lot darker and more firm, and it changes a little bit, and that helps mask and hide the eggs somehow. I just find it's harder to see those eggs even on this black foundation here.
Yeah, I'm not seeing her. Yeah, I think I am gonna start putting stuff back. I might slide all this stuff to one side so I can just kind of take a look. Just because they're not super happy. So on this frame, looks like a lot of bees to me. Honey with brood, which is a really good sign. And not too much honey, you know. I was worried last time because I was really in the too much honey territory. I think for the most part, everything I've seen so far, I don't feel like I'm over honeyed anymore. I do feel like I've overstayed my welcome, but that is different. Okay, I see drone brood. I see honey, a lot of honey, and some drone brood. I don't see any weird long queen cells, which is good. On the other frame, I see lots of bees. Some honey, some drone, or some brood. I don't see, yeah, so I think with all this rain we've had, I think they've uncapped. I might actually take this, let me smoke them a little more. I might take this one out to look at it, because I wonder if the queen's on this one. This is a really nice frame. At least this one side. I'm gonna look at the other side and I'll make my determination. Again, I might just kind of go quick here. I think I might go quick here. Just again, because these bees are kind of getting spicy. And not that I don't like tahine, but tahine bees just sounds like a bad plan, you know? Chili lime bees sounds kind of crazy to me. What do I see? Festooning bees. I see bees linking in bridge formation. Lots of bees cleaning cells out. That means that probably a lot of stuff was freshly hatched there, which is, again, a good sign. So.
Also, the queen could have been on one of these frames. I know I said earlier I think she was on that other frame I took out and moved, and I do think that there was a good chance that she was there. But when I was moving these frames, I think the frame I'm touching currently and the next frame are both really good candidates to have the queen on them because they lacked a lot of eggs but had places to lay eggs. It was kind of hard to see on video, but I was looking in at an angle, kind of getting a good view of what was going on in the frame, and it's 100% possible without taking the time to take the frame out and look at it that she could have been here. And my reasoning behind this is really I was getting nervous with how aggressive the bees were getting, and if I start handling frames when I'm nervous, I'm going to go quicker and I'll be shakier. And it's just going to do more to aggravate the bees. So I find if I just slide the frames over and look at them without crushing too many bees and kind of looking at them from a distance, I don't further aggravate the bees. And I get to keep my nerves, more calm because of that.
Yep, I'm just gonna go quick here. And again, just kind of move this one. The other side of this, it's just drone brood and some honey and some stuff. There's a weird gap in the middle of it, but I don't really think that matters. Again, I'm gonna throw a little bit of smoke on them because again, they don't really want me here, so I have to kind of continuously mask my scent now because they did sting the GoPro, and stinging the GoPro.
I think there might be something up with bees and the GoPro. I think maybe it's part of the heat, or maybe they just find it an odd texture, or they get caught in the cracks and crevices of it, or something. But I find that the bees don't typically sting me or my gloves, or I don't see them stinging at my veil. They really just like to sting the GoPro, and I'm not totally sure why. Like I said, maybe it's a heat thing or something. If anybody has any experience, let me know.
Oh, I just smacked a bunch of bees because I was getting smoke out of my eyes. Stinging the GoPro kind of alerted them that, hey, we're in fight mode. So there is a lot of loud bees up by me. You probably are seeing a lot of bees. It's definitely not as bad as that one, and I've seen that on the edit from last time, the Giga Swarm of bees. That was terrifying. Can I just say that it probably looked wild on camera. There's not a whole lot here. They haven't even fully drawn the frame out. It looks like they're putting honey in it. This one, drone brood, regular brood, and honey around the edges. So yeah, these frames are good. I'm just gonna move. I'm just gonna kind of, I might just throw the stuff back in now. I'm good. Put this stuff back on and let the bees kind of chill out. Calm down for me getting in their home and getting in their way. Not too many stingers came out today. I did see, like I said, there were 3 stingers in the bottom of the GoPro. But that's not too bad. They're probably like, quit putting so much damn smoke in us, we get the freaking deal, you know? Probably annoyed with me for that. I don't really like putting in frames right in the middle of the hive. I prefer to put them out and then push them in. But we're gonna kind of have to make do at the very moment.
So if you're worried that I'm not actually going through and looking at all of the frames, because I found larvae and I found fresh eggs and I found drone brood and worker brood, I'm not too worried that the queen's not in here. She's still land. It's always possible that I've damaged her when putting this frame in because I wasn't careful and not checking. But I know from the next episode that there's even more fresh eggs and other things and other signs that she's in there kicking around. I think there's a good chance that the worker bees might have picked the paint off of her. So I'm having more trouble finding her and locating her within the hive. I need to get better about looking more carefully and taking my time and going slowly to actually find her, especially if there's no paint on her. It makes it just more difficult for me to see. So, and if you have any suggestions on ways that I can improve this, I am a new beekeeper, so I'm always looking for, tips and tricks here.
Oh. Well, there was no bees there because they would have been dead and mad. Dead and mad. I guess those bees wouldn't have been mad. Other bees would have been mad at me. I don't think dead bees can be mad.
And at this point, I'm just hoping there's not a bunch of bees going to haunt my soul for the rest of my life because I've killed them on accident while going through this hive. Because Ephemeral bee stings just sounds terrible. Constantly in pain and aware of little pinpricks that you look over and nothing's there. That just sounds like a horrible time.
Okay, get some smoke on this frame. Put some smoke in here. Put the frame back. Come on. Nope, I need you to move. Once you get the brood chamber closed back up, most of the time, most of the bees go back in the hive and just kind of chill out. There was that little bit of honey that I uncapped, like I said. Oh, did I notice that before? I think I did. Let me look in it again, though, just in case. Nothing. Okay. Gently. Careful. 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 Almost done. I'll let go now, girls. Okay. Alright. And then I'm going to kind of try to move the frames. I'm going to put a little smoke out because, again, they're kind of spicy right now. And I don't want them to... I keep smoking the GoPro, if you notice, because when they sting the GoPro, that's where they... that's their, like, oh, hey, stuff's happening here. Let's mobilize here, right? So... Okay, was this brood? This is brood. That's honey. This is brood. That's honey. Right? Yes. Yes? Yes. Brood. Oh no, this is honey. This is brood or is this honey? The first one is honey down there, because I still have to put those back. This is brood. Yes, yes. Alright, ladies. Come on. If I just tap, I don't know if you can see the top of it shaking because I kind of have to be paying attention when I do it. If you just slowly tap down, they kind of get the signal and slowly start moving out of the way. And again, I'm just going to slowly rotate the frame or the hive. Slowly, 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 slowly rotate the hive kind of into place. Because when they start feeling the pressure, they'll start getting out of the way, right? As always, you probably will have one or two bees that you crush. It's really hard to avoid that, unfortunately. As sad as that is, it's really hard to avoid that. I mean, I could spend 20 minutes doing it, but... Okay, that's hot smoke. Let's not use that. Okay, I need to put the medium on, and this on top. So we're gonna put that down. Medium goes on back. I'm gonna put this in the brood chamber because I still think they could use it as brood space, and then I can move it up at the top. Talking to some buddies, as always. Always talking to other beekeepers. And they're pretty confident if I can get them to draw this out that I can have a fall harvest. You know? So there is a likelihood that I will still have a harvest if I can get them to actually draw this out. Because if I can get them to draw it out, oh geez, oh my gosh, it's so like slippery in all the wrong places. If I can get them to draw this out, I can harvest in the fall because I will have enough honey storage to overwinter if I feed them. So that is the hopes at the very least. Okay, I'm gonna put the queen excluder back on, and like I said, once you get to this part right here, like the bees they're not chill, but they're not nearly as spicy. These went from like Thai chili pepper bees to jalapeno bees, but not the crazy jalapenos that are supposed to be the no heat jalapenos, but are actually the spiciest freaking jalapenos you ever have in your life. Not those ones. Regular jalapenos. Supermarket jalapenos. How about that? I've gotten some spicy supermarket jalapenos too. I can't say that I have not. Okay, I'm gonna do a double check and look at the top of this. I'm almost positive I've not seen the queen up here. It's always good to check. Okay. Now we're gonna start moving honey frames back to the top. This is all the honey frame stuff. Come on. Okay, I'm gonna put some smoke on them because they are buzzing around. And I'm gonna throw some smoke up here too. Okay. let's see if we can't grab this frame here, because that frame has got a bee on the side of it. We got this frame anyway. Remember, nice, lots of honey. This would be a beautiful frame to harvest if we get to a point where we can harvest honey, and if there is enough stuff to do harvest with. Again, it's all ifs at this point. If we get lucky and they start drawing stuff out, if the bees aren't feeling lazy, if we have lots of flowers that are blooming, you know, if wax moths don't magically destroy the hive because I wasn't paying attention and missed some warning signs. If. I don't think that's going to happen. Of all the things to happen, wax hives exploding and destroying the hive is probably not my current worry. Mites, I need to do a mite wash. I should have done it today, but I'm going to do it next week. I wasn't feeling it today, if I'm being honest. Okay. We got 3 frames left, and then I can close her up. This is also, oh my gosh, a really heavy, nice frame. Lightweight frame. Still a nice looking frame. Lots of place for honey. It's all drawn out because it was brood chamber. Because I took brood. I might actually, yeah. What I'm gonna do? See this frame? It's got nothing on it. For the time being, I'm gonna set this frame right there. Handy little feature, by the way. I didn't know that was a thing until last week. I'm gonna throw this frame in the middle in hopes that they kind of draw it out. Not that I think they necessarily will, but I can dream, can't I? So we're just gonna shove, hopefully slowly, all this to the edge. Enough space for frame. And there's no bees on this frame. I mean, sure, there's a couple bees on this frame, but realistically, no bees. Only ephemeral bees here. Put that in. I'm gonna click. That's funny, I knocked on the top of that frame to try to push it back into place. And a bunch of bees came out like I was knocking on their door. I mean, I was, right? I was knocking on their door. All right. We have the bee lid, essentially. Bee lid goes on top. As always, telescopic cover. What is that? What is all that? Oh, it's just like weird little bits of honeycomb and stuff. As always, telescopic cover slid to the front. So there's a little hole there so I can get in and out, because you don't really want your bees not to be able to get in and out. Okay, so I'll put my hive tool in my pocket. And it's cleanup time, because we are fresh out of bee things to do. I think next time what I'll do,
I'm just going to tell you right now, see how this lid is crooked? This caused me some major panic. I thought something happened or something bonked the hive or somebody messed with my hive, because for whatever reason, while doing this, I didn't notice I didn't get the telescopic cover on correctly, and it's at an angle, and that could have been really bad. I could have partially blocked the entrance and they couldn't have got out. I could have let excess water in and it dripped all through the hive, and it could have pooled at the bottom. My hive's tilted forward to kind of help prevent some of that stuff, but all these things are possible, and all of this panic because I didn't notice at the time that I misplaced the cover.
I'm gonna try to, I might take the box off immediately and then look at the bottom box and rotate it, and because I think this is the second week in a row that I've not got all the way through the bottom box. So I think that's what I'm gonna mess with next time. But we'll see. I might do one of these at a time. Yep, okay. We're gonna take this one first. Yeah. back, put it up with all the other equipment. Hi, Arthur. Arthur's staring out at me like, hey, what are you doing? Okay. We got our bee tool. If I can get it out of my pocket. It's nice and stuck in there as always. I avoid putting that thing in my pocket, but I still get it stuck in there. What's that? I don't know what that is. Gone now. Put that there. I don't think it's supposed to rain tomorrow, which is good, because put that there. This I need to take inside. Put that there, so we can go get the smoker. I'm gonna leave the smoker out. I like to just leave it right here. Okay. Not too far, not too close, you know. Goldilocks zone for smokers. Again, make sure my hive is tilted a little bit forward, so if it rains, the water doesn't pool on the inside. I had a terrifying panic the other day when it was raining really hard. I was like, what if I didn't put the hive back correctly and I have, you know, my angle is off and it's actually tilted back now, but I didn't move the bricks, so that wouldn't happen. But I did have a panic that, oh gosh, maybe my bees are drowning. I assure you they were not. But I did have that panic.
Little did I know at the time that that would be my exact next panic, because with the lid being all cockeyed, I kind of assumed that my bees were once again drowning.
Okay, take the lid off. I'm gonna set it right there. Just let it smoke out. Do its thing. Most of the bees now are gone off me, except the couple that stung my suit or the GoPro or whatever they stung. They're still kind of chilling. So I'm gonna kind of walk, check if we got me. Oh, I can go look at the garden real quick.
This was live from the Catio number 5. Some more bee drama, as always. I am still trying to get better at using that smoker. I have not yet mastered that skill. No queen today, but there were definitely places she could have been. There were fresh eggs and larvae, so I wasn't too worried that she wasn't there. If you're curious, I didn't end up going and looking at the garden. I ended up just cutting the rest of the footage because there wasn't anything useful or interesting there. So, anyway, this is Nick from Live from the Catio, signing out.